What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, rocking with me, fooling with me, dealing with me, subscribing, commenting, thumbs up, all that. I appreciate it. You can see in the back, I got some flowers. Mother's Day coming up in a week, but I was at Trader Joe's today, out of town. They had a good situation going on, so my mom's gonna get hers early. So once again, this is a public service announcement to all you men, whatnot, with mothers and your own mother and baby mamas and wives, have your kids. You got about a week, and they gonna want something. So you got to cook, flowers, take them to a restaurant. One of those three. You got to cook. If you can cook, flowers, or take them to a restaurant. But May 11th, I believe, whatever, that's their day. So I've been in my I've been in my race bag lately. Did a video on why my white daughter is in the black guys. So I said to keep it fair, I'm gonna switch back on over and we're gonna answer some situations going on in the black community. And I think I'm gonna title this one, If America Knew What I Know, they would give, I may not add it, but they would give us the 40 acres and a mule. If America knew what I know, they would give us the 40 acres and a mule. You say, Professor X, what you talking about? I hear what you're saying. Professor X, I want 40 acres. And if somebody's giving it for free, if the government is going to give it for free, if the president is going to give out acres of land in this economy, and you're talking about 40 acres, what I can do with 40 acres, I hear you. But for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, let me bring you up to speed. After the Civil War, when the slaves were freed, it was going to have a situation because these slaves and their dependents would have nothing or in terms of work, being able to take care of themselves, economic situation. They would have nothing to go by because they have been slaves all this time. Now you're in a situation after the Civil War, the Union won. What are we going to do? These slaves are freed. They need something. Them and their dependents need something. So one of the Union generals, Sherman, I believe, said, well, let's give them, the freed slaves, 40 acres and a mule. And what that was going to do is allow them the property, the acreage, the land, where they could start producing and take care of themselves and their families. And for a little while, that's what they did to some. Remember now, this was to the slaves that were free, that was already free black people. Anyway, we're talking about those who were slaves. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because sometimes there's a lot of confusion, and every how we are sometimes. I started talking about my people for a little bit. Sometimes we always, we want that handout. We all stand in line. We want that handout. We want that free stuff. We don't know who it's for, or who exactly it's for. We don't care about that. All we know is somebody say black people supposed to get 40 acres and a mule, and then we show we got our handout. Where's my land? Right? We don't do no research to see if we descendants of slaves or whatnot. We don't go into all that. We not, a lot of us. This ain't. I'm being facetious, but y'all know I'm telling the truth. We're not really gonna take the time out, do no real research to see are we descendants of free slaves. We just gonna assume that we are. We in America. We got here because they brought us over here. They yanked us over here. It was all white people, no black people involved. They brought us all over here, and I'm not making light of it. Y'all know that there was a lot of several situations going on, but we just blame one. Okay, so we got over here, everybody over here, descendants of slave. They say we're supposed to get 40 acres and a mule. Where's mine at? Okay, so it did for a little while. They was able to give some of the free slaves 40 acres and a mule, but it stopped, and they ended up retracting the promise of that they was going to do it. They ended up taking it back. So not everybody, and the majority of them did not get their 40 acres and a mule. So you'll hear nowadays people talking about that all the time. Like you heard certain people say, we still want reparations. We still want our 40 acres and a mule. That's what they're talking about, because they rescinded it. They took it back. The president took it back. You know, like I said, the General Lewis Sherman, he say, okay, let's do it. Let's put it into place. Let's have something for them. They took it back. When they took it back, it forced a lot of the free slaves to have to start sharecropping, which is, the youth fellas don't know. You use somebody else's land, you farm it, you till it, you produce on it, and then for the use of the land, you give him a portion of what you make. That's how sharecropping works. For those that don't know, you sharecrop somebody's land, they give you a portion, so many acres or whatever of land to work with. You and your family can work that land, vegetables, farming, whatever you got to do, and then at a point in time, whatever, you give that landowner a portion of what you was able to make and produce off that land. That's how it worked. A lot of them, most of them, had to switch over to sharecropping. It put black people, those that were free slaves, in a bad economic situation, right? Because the whole purpose was we supposed to be able to do for ourselves based on the fact that we're not asked to be here. You made slaves out of us, now we're free. Give us something. And they did it for a little while, took it back. When they took it back, they gave the land that they was using for that, most of it went back to the original owners of the land anyway. Now you know pretty much the long and short of 40 acres and a mule. That's where it come from, the reparations. If you hear somebody say it, then you can say, you know what, Professor X gave us a little history lesson on where that came from. Now, anybody that's saying that today, that we still want reparations. We still, and again, listen, I don't want to make too light of it. A promise is a promise, right? So if you make a promise, you ought to be able to keep it. If you say you're going to do something, you ought to be able to stand on it. If you're not able to stand on it, then you ought to be able to come up with the difference and make it right for the people that you made a promise to, right? You should be able to come up with something. If I tell you I'm going to give you $100 at the end of the week, and then something come up where I'm not able to give you the $100, when I tell you I'm not able to, I can't just leave you empty-handed. I got to come up with a better offer. Look, I was not able to give you the $100 this week, like I said. However, next week I'm going to give you $150 because I did not keep my word. That's normally how things should go. In this situation, it didn't go that way. So again, a lot of people have an attitude about it, upset, still with the government about it, and want, Trump, whoever, to give us what we supposed to have. The 40 acres and a mule, we still want it. You promised it to us. Where is it at? We want it right now. We get real militant with it. We want it. Well, this is my suggestion. I suggest that if America knew what Professor X know, I would give all of the descendants of free slaves their 40 acres and a mule. Yes, I absolutely would. I would give it to them because what I know about human nature is when you give them that 40 acres and a mule, you think you're gonna lose out. You think you're gonna lose out, and the landowners, everybody gonna be mad that you took the land from, and everybody gonna be fussing and complaining. Let's hear me out. I got a strategy that's gonna work for everybody. One of them deals that they say it's gonna work for both parties. This one of them deals that work for both, the Democrats and the Republicans, like that. This one of them deals gonna work for both black and white. Those type of situations, I've got a perfect deal, a perfect plan for everybody in this situation. Give them the 40 acres and the mule. Give it to me. Give it to all of us. All of us who are descendants of free slaves, give us the 40 acres and the mule. Because what's going to end up happening is, and y'all know, y'all have lived long enough to see it, We not paying taxes on them 40 acres. We not going to do it. We don't want to pay taxes on the property that we live on now, that we pay the home on now. We don't want to pay taxes on the half acre of property that we got right now. We don't want to pay taxes on it. So when we each get 40 acres and a mule, them 40 acres is still going to come with tax requirements, and we not going to pay it. When we fall in the default, take the land back. That's how you do it. We not give us the do what you said. Dang it. Do what you said. Give us what we supposed to have. Stop playing with us now. We ain't nobody to play with. Don't mess with us no more. You done told us something. Do it. Keep your word. And just wait. Do your part and just wait. As we say, lay in the cut and it won't be long. We not going to pay the taxes on it. It's going to go in the default and you're going to get the land back. And that's how you're a blessing to everybody. You're going to keep your word. You're going to do what we say. We're not going to be able to use this against you no more. And you're going to get your land back all in one swoop. America, you got it? Good.